What's up, folks? This is your boy Zilla Valentine. It has been a busy weekend that started in LA and now it's finishing here in New York City on the red carpet for a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I cannot wait to see who walks down the carpets, and I also want to show you my interviews from a beautiful day in the neighborhood. As you can see, security is thick because the man himself, Tom Hanks, will be here, and hopefully we'll get to talk to him. But for now, check out these interviews.
Mr. Rogers dedicated his life to trying to help people understand that it's all right to be sad, it's all right to be confused. There are grown-ups out there who are going to help you through the growing up process. This was his mission in life.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, great film. You captured all of our feelings when your character said, please don't ruin my childhood. Because it's like all our heroes are being like, not taken down, but we're finding out new stuff about heroes and stuff like that. It's really sad. When you got signed on to be a part of this project, how'd you feel? What was the emotion like? Because this is a big deal.
Well, I felt just that. I knew it was a big deal. I knew with everyone who was involved in it that it was going to be a big deal. And I was super excited, nothing less than excited. This is my first major motion picture. So, what do I do now? I'm spoiled. Yeah.
When I first interviewed Sterling, it was for This Is Us, before the show came out.
Okay.
And everyone was saying, new one is seen. I was like, dude, you've been working for a really long time.
For a minute, yeah.
And I feel like the same for you. You've been working for a real long time, but people are just discovering you. Where is your career going to go from here? Because we need to see you more in movies.
Yeah.
You need to be Susan and not Beth, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So how do you balance that? How do you plan to stay you?
I keep choosing roles that are different from the last. You know what I mean? I think I want to open myself into, what is it like to be, the romantic lead, or what is it like to be in the comedy? You know what I mean? What is it like to be in the action movie? Like, though, in my heart, I'm a character actress, and that's what I love to do. And I play women who are, very naturalistic, but they're still characters for me. Like, I'm not Beth, really, any day of the week. You know what I mean? And I'm not Andrea, but I think what's most important for me is to never be put in a box. And some of that responsibility is mine. It just depends on the thing that I do next, or, what I am most interested in, making sure I pursue those things, And so I am going to do, more film. I love film.
Yeah.
I grew up, film is the thing that would transform me the most, is watching a film. Your whole life changes after you see that film, right? Yeah. So that's part of the reason why I do this. And so, those are the next steps.
There was a quote that said, if my neighborhood was the solar system, if my neighborhood was the sun, I would be Neptune, close enough to see the sun's rays, but farther enough away that I never felt its warmth. And that touched me, because that's how I felt about my hood. Being that this is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, how would you describe your neighborhood, your hood?
My hood is me. I feel like when I go home, I feel very represented. I feel like people understand my voice. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a I don't want to say single-mindedness, but a like-mindedness that I have with people in my community. And, it's the vibe of New York. It's the energy. It's just part of who I am, And so I do feel very much at home.
Black love is amazing, and your character, Beth and Randall, they represent that. And it might be the best black couple on television of all time, in my opinion.
Wow, thank
How
you.
do you rank them as like a couple of an example of black love?
You know what? I would put us amongst the ranks. There's some amazing ones now, but I definitely throw us in there, because the thing is that we were influenced by so many. I was influenced by Martin and Gina, Dwayne and Whitley, you know what I mean? Love Jones, you know what I mean? All these things that I was like, ooh, give me more, because that's it right there. And now I get a chance to have that impact and that influence. And, we totally embrace it, because we know how important it is to have it, right? So the fact that we get to, it's a privilege.
It is, because sometimes we don't see it at home. We don't see it at home sometimes, so it's good to see it on television.
Exactly. It's nothing less than a privilege, and we don't take it lightly. So we're always trying to be as mindful, as honest, and as, sort of beyond the stereotype as we can be, so that we're representing as much as we can represent.
Is this Andrea?
Yes. This is Fred Rogers.
Oh, hi.
Who is it?
Lloyd's right here.
Oh, no, Andrea, while I have you, I just want to thank you so much for sharing Lloyd with us. Can't be easy him traveling with
Gavin at home.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I'm gonna give Lloyd to you now. Mr. Rogers knows my name.
How you feeling?
Slightly as if I'm caught in a surreal moment.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
Yeah.
Still doesn't feel quite right.
I honestly don't know if it ever feels right.
That's true.
I feel like we all accomplish things that are like life-changing things, and each year it's better and better, but it always still feels the same.
I agree. It's only in retrospect you go,
Yeah.
God, look at that moment in time.
Speaking of that, I'll just go to my first question.
Yes.
If someone would have told 18-year-old you'll be acting with one of the best actors in the game as he has a puppet on his hand, what would you have said?
Can I drink some of whatever it is you're drinking? Yes. You could have said at the time, if you're at 18, if you're going to work with Tom Hanks, I wouldn't have believed it. Because even at that time in my life, he was as iconic as he is now, this kind of giant of cinema. And I had those moments in Abandon on set when Tom Hanks is holding a puppet and talking to me through the puppet of just going, what's going on?
Yeah. When the script calls for Mr. Rogers to dig into your character's soul and touch you in a place where you weren't prepared to be touched, because it happens in this film, where do you go in your mind to create that visual? Because I felt it, like, wow, like, no, he cut deep right there, and I felt it, and that was all unverbal acting. Where do you go to in your mind to create that?
It's interesting, as actors, that's exactly what you're almost trained to do, is to go to those places that, are difficult or that you don't. And then one could argue what you do as actors is kind of create a facade or whatever it is you want to hide behind so that you never quite... So part of the story sang to me a lot that there was this great facade that had to be broken down in order for it all to come spilling out. And, there was a number of moments in my life that I just accessed very easily. It was one of the rare moments in this film, in the moment in the Chinese restaurant when Tom says, just take a moment to think of the people who loved you into being. There's not sound too pretentious, there's no acting required. If you do exactly what he said, it's all for free.
There's a great quote that goes, if my neighborhood was a solar system, I would be Neptune, close enough to see the sun's rays, but far enough away that I can never feel its warmth. That touched me because that's how I felt about my neighborhood. Can you tell me about your hood? Like, how was your neighborhood back when you was a kid?
I loved my neighborhood. It kind of, there's a part of me, not to sound ridiculous, I think back and I go, well, no wonder I'm an actor, because this neighborhood was this, it was the Wild West. It was, the trenches of World War. It was this blank canvas that we went out. And once we were out on our bikes, the kind of 9 of us, we were anything. We were astronauts. So it was this kind of this playground that seemed, obviously through rose tinted specs looking back, is magical to me now.